finished designing your avatar and traced over the lines with Sharpie to make sure that you know exactly which lines you want to keep and transfer onto your painting, then we're going to need to set up a grid in order for you to draw. Remember that when we first started this lesson, I told you that it was going to be a grid enlargement drawing. That means you can use a small grid of the same proportion as a larger grid to make your drawing big. We've got a small grid on your avatar already that was provided on the paper. When you want to start your painting, you're going to need a clean sheet of white paper that's much larger than anything that I could run through the printer for you. So you're going to create the grid yourself, but it's pretty easy. And it goes fast. You just need to know a few basic little things. We're going to be using a ruler here, and what you're going to be doing is checking out your ruler first of all and making sure that you have the numbers going up so that you can read them. These are graph rulers, which are really pretty cool because they're clear, you can see through them, and they make drawing straight lines a lot easier. So what we're going to be doing is making a grid of 1 inch by 1 inch squares. So you can see that the darker lines on the ruler are where the 1 inch marks are, and that's true for the vertical lines. It's also true for the horizontal line on the ruler. So the lighter line is a ½ inch, the darker is 1 inch, and that goes for the vertical lines as well as the horizontal. So what you're going to be doing first is lining the ruler up on the side of the paper, and you're going to make little marks at every 1 inch line on your ruler. You're going to do this all the way down the side of the paper. And here's what's kind of neat about these rulers. If I line the middle part of the ruler up with exactly the edge of the paper, I know that that's going to be 1 inch right there. And I really don't have to draw a line anywhere else. I can just go straight down with that. I can keep going like this all the way across the paper, and it'll work as long as I keep the darkened line on top of the pencil line. So here I have 2 pencil lines that I've drawn. I'm going to match the dark line of the ruler up with the closest pencil line here, and the edge of the ruler matches the first pencil line that I drew. I can keep going like this all the way down my paper. It makes drawing a grid really easy. I like to put the little marks on the side up here just to make sure that I'm on track and not getting off, because one little mistake as you go along gets magnified and larger over time. So we want to just kind of make sure that we're doing that correctly. When you're finished going all the way down, then you're going to turn your paper and do the same thing along the top edge. This time you're going to have 12 inches, and then you can do the same thing. Just line the ruler up with the side of the paper like we did before, and then take that line all the way down. Now I'm lining the darkened line on the ruler up with the first pencil line, and I can keep going like this across the rest of the paper. As long as I'm careful and I'm lining up the lines, it'll work out just right. When you're finished, you're going to have 12 inches on the short side and 18 on the long side. We're going to be labeling these too. But first comes the grid. So I want you guys to do your grid first, and then I'll show you about labeling.